Okay, everybody. Let's get to the Q&As for today. And there are several people sent in questions about the last couple of trades, and I'm going to talk about those as well as some other points. But let's get to the Q&As first. First of all, when trading logical points or horizontal lines of support and resistance, how do you choose your entry and what do you use for confirmation? Well, this was a similar question was asked a couple of days ago, and when I read that question, what I hear is just an overall confusion about how to put things together. Okay, and but don't worry, folks. Okay, this is important. Okay, and it's perfectly okay if you're at that point. Okay, it's not a bad thing. The only thing you've got to focus on now is the sequence. Okay? The big difference between a rookie trader and a professional trader is in how they view the market. Okay? And this is nothing more than the order. What is the order? Okay, so number one. In any list, you've got to have a first thing. Okay, so number one, you should see a trend. Number two, you should see a pattern. Then number three, you should know your risk. If you know the trend, you see a pattern, you know your risk, then you can take the trade. So let's talk about this. When a trader's looking at a setup, okay, let's say we were looking at this market right here, and we're thinking, okay, the market's pushed up, it looks like short term, the trend is up. I can't bring in the daily bars, but if you remember the daily was trading inside of this big trading lane. The market had come up a couple of times, hit it, right? And then it was coming down and it fell very quickly and it was sort of churning around, and we're looking at the daily bars down here. Okay, so the trend is still up. The market's in a short-term downtrend and it's catching near what we would call major support. Major support from the line as well as major support from price. Okay, that's all very important. Okay, so, whoops, got carried away with my eraser there. Since we know what the market's doing inside of the trend, and we know that we're waiting for a particular pattern, now all we have to do is understand what is the risk. And this, in my opinion, is the number one area where traders will look at the screen. Okay, if you're staring at the screen and you're thinking to yourself, I know I should see something here, why am I not seeing it? Or you see something and you just are frozen and you're literally afraid to take the trade, it's usually because of this area right here. And I didn't go into this next concept that I'm going to talk about here in the kit because it's a little bit more advanced, okay? But I can explain the basic concept to you, and I'll do it with an illustration. Okay, in my life, I am a dad, I'm a husband, and I'm a son, right? So I've got my own kids, I've got my wife, and then I have my parents. Now, in each of these three areas, I'm going to act quite differently, aren't I? I mean, I'm certainly not going to treat my kids the same way that I treat my wife. At least I would hope not. And I certainly wouldn't treat my parents the same way that I treat my wife. So in each of these roles, or each of these three parts or roles,